Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jeremy Sadowski, and I'm here to bring you exciting Maricosta Mustang varsity football. The Mustangs enter tonight's contest with a record of 1-0. Last week, they started off the 2021 season with an impressive victory over Paramount at home, and the Mustangs defeated the Pirates 40-6. Tonight, the Mustangs are on the road in La Cañada Flint Ridge to take on the St. Francis Golden Knights. St. Francis is led by first-year head coach Dean Harrington, and Dean Harrington is taken over for legendary St. Francis head football coach Jim Bonds, who passed away last October. The Golden Knights will be led on offense by the 6'6" junior quarterback Jack Jacobs, number 16, and number 2, the senior running back at 5'9", Max Garrison. Your Maricosta Mustangs, of course, are led by Don Morrow, entering his 29th season at the helm of the Maricosta football program. Last week, the Mustangs featured a dominating power running attack led by the senior offensive linemen Cole Trungeon and Wes Widmer, and the running backs senior Dean Rapetti at fullback and junior Matthew Kraskowskis. At quarterback for the Mustangs is senior Casey Pavlik, and a couple of his key receivers are senior Brett McCullough and sophomore Reese Leonard. The Mustangs defense was led last week by senior Brett McCullough and the sophomore Reese Leonard, who had an interception return for a touchdown. The special teams were led by senior Van Grove, who made a couple field goals for the Mustangs, as well as Owen McTavish, who was able to return a blocked field goal for a touchdown. St. Francis should be a good test for the Mustangs as they come out of the powerful Angeles League featuring Loyola and St. Paul. Last spring, the Golden Knights defeated the Mustangs 38-35 in the postponed 2020 season. The Mustang Freshman and JV scoreboard is brought to you by Pack Parts Incorporated. The freshmen tied St. Francis yesterday at 20, and the junior varsity defeated the Golden Knights 32-14. We are getting close to kickoff. It's a warm night here in La Cañada Flint Ridge. Temperature was well over 90 degrees today. Mustangs will definitely have to keep well hydrated. And here come your 2021 Maricosta Mustangs. I remember back in 2005 when the Golden Knights first played the Mustangs in the CIF playoffs. The Golden Knights were one of the first high school football teams to feature an artificial turf field. Captains are meeting at midfield for the Mustangs. Number 5, senior Casey Pavlik. Number 6, senior Adam Pedrati. And number 27, senior Brett McCullough. The captains for the Golden Knights are number 2, senior Max Garrison, number 7, Maze Bryant, number 24, Miles Shannon, and number 52, Duncan Springle. The Mustangs won the coin toss and will defer to the second half. Golden Knights will start off this contest on offense, and we are getting ready to start week 2 of the high school football season. Golden Knights are getting pumped up and are taking the field, as this will be week 1 for St. Francis and week 2 for your Maricosta Mustangs. Number 12, senior Van Graw is set to kick off for your Maricosta Mustangs. And week 2 is underway, as it's a high kick taken about the 5-yard line. Mays Bryant on the return for the Golden Knights is taken down by number 3, Cole Crotty of the Mustangs. Coach Ray Lee calling the defensive plays for the Mustangs. Single back formation, Jacobs under center. He fakes the handoff, he's back to pass, he throws it deep down the middle and incomplete. That was intended for Bryant. That will bring up a second down situation. Golden Knights in shotgun. This time the handoff goes to the single back, and he's taken down in the backfield. Great job by the Mustang defense, bringing down Max Garrison. Jacobs back to pass. Again out of the shotgun formation. This time he completes it to Garrison, who makes a nifty move, and it looks like he might have picked up enough for the Golden Knight first down. First down, St. Francis. Shotgun. Pitch goes to the single back, Garrison, and he is going to be taken down by several Mustangs, led by Tensinelli. Second down. Golden Knights in shotgun. No back formation. And this time it's completed to the right-hand side to Garrison once again. He was able to pick up enough for the St. Francis first down. Trips left. Single back formation. Handoff goes to that single back, and he gets a big gainer up the middle. That's number 10 for St. Francis, Daniel O'Hara, as he picks up a big gain and another Golden Knight first down. Pistol formation this time. Jacobs fakes the handoff. He's looking to throw. He's going to take it himself, and he's going to be taken down by number 27, Brett McCullough, and number 56, Archie La Canada. Handoff goes to Garrison. This time he goes around the left side, and he's still on his feet and makes a bunch of nifty moves before going out of bounds. It appears that number 2, Matthew Field, was shaken up on the play. Hopefully Matthew will get back into action soon. He appeared to hit the kicking net on that play as Garrison went out of bounds. First and 10, St. Francis. Trips right. Jacobs looking to throw. He's still looking. Now he's going to try to run it. He's going to be taken down. Tensinelli takes him down for a sack. Great coverage there by the Mustang secondary. Second and 11 for the Golden Knights. Here in the first quarter of play, single back formation. Jacobs fakes the handoff. He's back to pass. He's going to throw it to his right, and that ball is incomplete. And that will bring up a third down and 11 for St. Francis. Shotgun formation. Jacobs back to pass. He's still looking. And he finally throws it to his right, and that's going to be incomplete. It was caught, but out of bounds. Bell on the attempted reception will bring up a 37-yard field goal attempt for the Golden Knights. Time out on the field as one of the Golden Knights players was late coming on, so St. Francis was forced to call the timeout. So 7 minutes and 30 seconds here to go as the Golden Knights will attempt a 37-yard field goal. Guriak kicks it, it's up high, and it is going to be wide right. So the score remains 0-0 here in the first quarter. Mustangs get their first attempt, and the handoff goes up the middle to number 22, junior Matthew Kraskowskis. Picks up a couple yards on the play, setting up a second and long situation. Here comes the handoff again, goes to Kraskowskis. He gets some great blocks by his pulling guard and tackle, and he might go the distance, and he gets into the end zone for a 78-yard touchdown run. Incredible blocking there by the Mustang line, and great speed there by Kraskowskis. Let's take another look at this play once again, as we see Cole Truncheon, the guard, knock out the defensive end, and then Wes Widmer, the tackle, pulling through the hole, and Kraskowskis does not get touched until about the 2-yard line, where he's finally run down, but not in time, as Kraskowskis is able to get into the end zone. Van Graw on to kick the extra point for the Mustangs. It is up high straight, and it is good, going into the St. Francis student section, as the Mustangs lead the Golden Knights 7-0 here in the first quarter. Again, the Mustangs' power running attack is looking impressive as they go 80 yards on 2 plays. Of course, that 78-yard touchdown run making up most of that yardage. And Van Graw kicks it off again, this time to about the 5-yard line, where Mays Bryant takes it and returns it and will be tackled by number 35, Isaac Lansky. Golden Knights in shotgun, single back formation. Jacobs hands it to that single back, that's Garrison, and he attempts to get around the left-hand side and is unable to break free. Is able to pick up a couple yards on the play, setting up a second down and long situation. This time under center, Jacobs hands it once again to Garrison, and this time he is going to take it the distance for a Golden Knights touchdown, as we get to see the speed of the senior running back, as he was just able to break away from the Mustang defense. The Golden Knights special team unit is seeing if the Mustangs are lined up properly, and they are. Guriak on to attempt the point after for the Golden Knights, and it is up high straight, and it is good. So the score is now tied 7-7 with 5 minutes and 39 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Guriak to kick off for St. Francis, and that's going to get into the end zone for a touchback. Mustangs will start their second possession of tonight's contest at their own 20-yard line. Casey Pavlik in at quarterback for the Mustangs. Single back formation, Pavlik under center. He's going to hand it off once again to that single back. That's Kriskauskas, able to pick up a few yards around the right end. Second down and about 4 to go. And this time Pavlik finds his sophomore receiver, Reese Leonard, on the left-hand side, picks up a nice gain for the Mustangs and a first down. First and 10, ball at the Mustang 41-yard line. Pavlik back to pass. He's looking to go deep down the right-hand side. That was intended for Riley Bloomstrand, and it is incomplete. Good coverage there by the St. Francis secondary. We'll bring up a second down and 10 situation, and there is a timeout on the field. That is the Golden Knights' second timeout of the first half, with the score all tied up at 7 with 4 minutes and 17 seconds to go. Single back formation, Pavlik hands it off to that single back, and that's Kriskauskas once again going up the middle, getting close to midfield, about the 48-yard line, setting up a third down and short situation. I thought he got a couple more yards on the play. Single back, St. Francis showing blitz, penalty flag on the play. Let's see what the call is going to be. And it's going to be a false start versus the Mustangs. Third and long situation, trips right, shotgun, single back formation for Maricosta. Pavlik back to pass, he throws it over the middle, and that is Reese Leonard once again with the reception and the first down for the Mustangs. First and 10, ball at the St. Francis 45-yard line. Mustangs mixing up the run and pass on this drive as Pavlik is looking to throw once again, and he's forced to scramble up the middle where he'll pick up a couple yards on the play. Second and about 8 to go for Maricosta. Single back formation, handoff goes to Kriskauskas, and he got back to the line of scrimmage, wasn't able to break free. Again, the Mustangs had the offensive guard and tackle pulling on that play. That was Trunjan and Widmer. We're going to see a lot of that this season, I have a feeling. Shotgun formation. Pavlik back to pass. He throws it to his right, completes it to number 27, the big senior receiver, McCullough. Handoff this time goes to Kriskauskas, trying to get around the left end, and is going to be stopped after a short gain. Number 2, Max Garrison, was in on that tackle for St. Francis. Second and 9 for Maricosta. And that will bring us to the end of the first quarter with the score all tied up at 7. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Pack Parts Incorporated, factory authorized parts distributor and service center. We are the parts and service company apart from the rest. To contact Pack Parts, go to packparts.com. And Jay O'Neill of the 1993 CIF Championship team, thank you for your continued support of Mustang football. And fans, don't forget to go to the Skechers Peer-to-Peer Friendship Walk this fall. Go the extra mile for our children, presented by Nickelodeon. Thank you, Skechers, Pack Parts, and Jay O'Neill again for your continued support of Mustang football. Mustangs will start the second quarter of action at the St. Francis 29-yard line. Second down and 9. Handoff goes this time to Kriskauskis once again up the middle. Picks up a nice gain there on second down for the Mustangs. Will be a third down and 4 now for Maricosta. Trips left, shotgun formation. Pavlik back to pass. He's going to throw it out to his right, and that's completed to Kriskauskis, and Kriskauskis is going to get into the end zone for a Mustangs touchdown. Great play call there by head coach Don Morrow, as the Golden Knights were keying on the receivers and left the back wide open. Let's take another look at this play, as the trips left was just the decoy, and Kriskauskis, nobody accounted for him in the right flats, and he was able to go pretty much untouched into the end zone for a touchdown. Great job there also by the Mustang offensive line, giving Pavlik all the time he needed. Van Gra on to kick the extra point. It's up high, it's straight, and it is through the uprights as the Mustangs take a 7-point lead here at the start of the second quarter. Van Gra on to kick off. Once again for the Mustangs, it's going to be taken at about the 10-yard line, and good return for the Golden Knights. Ramirez gets a very good return for St. Francis. As the Golden Knights will start their third drive of this contest, the first of the second quarter. Let's see what the call on the field is. It's going to be offsides against Maricosta. 1st and 5 for the Golden Knights. All at the Mustang 48-yard line. Trips left. Shotgun formation. Handoff goes again to the single back, and Garrison is able to break a tackle in the backfield, reverses field, and go around the right end and pick up a big gainer for the Golden Knights. First down play. Incredible run there by Garrison as he went to the left, broke out of a tackle, and then ran all the way back to the right. This time, Jacobs takes it himself on the quarterback keeper, and he's going to be stopped in the backfield. Great job by the Mustang defensive line. Second down and about 13 to go. Shotgun formation, delayed handoff to the running back, Garrison. Great job on that play call by the St. Francis offense, picking up a first down play. Trips right, shotgun formation, and it appears the Mustangs have jumped off sides once again. Let's see what the call is, and indeed it is going to be offsides against Maricosta. 1st and 5, Golden Knights. Trips right, shotgun, pitch goes to that single back, Garrison, and he will get inside the 10-yard line for another Golden Knight first down. 1st and goal, St. Francis. Shotgun formation, single back. Jacobs fakes the handoff to the single back. He's going to take it himself, and he is going to get close to the end zone. Let's see if he got in. There is a penalty on the play. Let's see what the call is going to be. I'm not sure if Jacobs made it into the end zone, but that might be a moot point, depending on the call here. And it appears to be a holding call versus the Golden Knights, so that will march them back. to about the 15-yard line, setting up a little running back screen, and it's batted down. Great job there by the Mustang defense. Second down and goal for St. Francis. Timeout on the field. That's going to be St. Francis's last timeout of the first half, with the Mustangs leading the Golden Knights 14-7 with 7 minutes and 52 seconds left in the first half of play. Trips right, single back formation. Jacobs fakes the handoff to the single back, throws it to the right, incomplete. Third and goal for the Golden Knights. Shotgun formation, single back, handoff goes to that single back. That's Garrison making a nice move at the 10 and then fighting forward into the end zone for a Golden Knights touchdown. Another incredible run there by senior Max Garrison, showing some nifty moves as I thought he was going to be stopped at about the 10 and then was able to break a tackle and then somehow get into the end zone. The extra point is good and the score is all knotted up at 14. Kickoff goes to about the 5-yard line. Number 13 returning it for the Mustangs. Fortunately, he is not on our roster. Mustangs will start this possession. With the score all tied up at 14 here in the second quarter. I formation. Havlick's going to hand it off to the tailback. That's Kriskowskis. Ball's on the ground. Let's see what the call is. I'm not sure. It looks like they're going to call a fumble, and it is recovered by the Golden Knights. Golden Knights take over deep in Mustang territory. Shotgun formation, single back. Jacobs fakes it to that single back and throws it to the right and completes it to number 3, Bell. First and goal, Golden Knights. I formation. Jacobs pitches it to the tailback. However, the play is stopped. Appears there's a penalty on the play. Let's see what the call is going to be. It's going to be offsides again on the Mustangs. First and goal from the Mustang 5-yard line. Pitch goes to the running back once again. However, the play is stopped once again. Let's see what the call is going to be this time. It's going to be false start, so the Golden Knights give back the yardage they just gained on the Mustangs offside. I formation for St. Francis. Jacobs pitches the ball back to Garrison, who zigzags his way into the end zone for another touchdown. That's his third touchdown of the evening. Garrett on to attempt the extra point for the Golden Knights. The snap is good, the hold is good, and the kick is good. So that will give the Golden Knights their first lead of the contest at 21-14. Garrett on to kick off once again for St. Francis. This is a line drive that goes through the end zone for a touchback. So the Mustangs will take over here in the second quarter from their own 20-yard line. Trips left, shotgun formation. Pavlik back to pass. He scrambles to his right and then goes back to the middle, and then he finds a wide open Berga Donovan down the sideline and deep into Golden Knight territory. David Berga Donovan with a nice play there for the Mustangs. An incredible job keeping upright was Pavlik as he was pressured out of the pocket and then steps up into the heat of the action and then delivers a nice thrown ball to David Berga Donovan, and he gets it all the way down to the St. Francis 25-yard line. Trips left, shotgun, single back formation. Pavlik back to pass. He's going to take it himself, and the ball is free. And it looks like it's going to be recovered by St. Francis. Pavlik tried to make something happen there and lost control of the ball as he was being tackled. Turnover there for the St. Francis defense. Jacobs comes out in shotgun. Fakes the handoff to the single back, takes it himself around the right-hand side, picks up a few yards. Second and about 6 to go for the Golden Knights. Jacobs under center, single back formation. He fakes the handoff, he rolls to his left and throws it incomplete. Good coverage on the play by the sophomore Reese Leonard. 3rd and 6 for the Golden Knights. 4 receivers set. Single back formation. Jacobs back to pass. He steps up in the pocket and he is going to be swallowed up by the Mustang defense. Razon in on that sack for the Mustangs, bringing up a 4th down and punting situation for St. Francis. It's a high end over ender. Not too long, and will go out of bounds at the Mustangs 45-yard line, where the Mustangs will start this possession with 4 minutes and 38 seconds to go in the first half of play. I formation, Pavlik under center. He hands the ball off to the tailback, that's Kriskauskis, who breaks free, runs over a man, still on his feet, picks up a 1st down and then some. Another hard run by the junior running back. 1st and 10 Mustangs. At the St. Francis 37-yard line, Pavlik back to pass. He completes it out to the right. That's a completion to number 8, Riley Bloomstrand. Picks up about 7 yards, 2nd down and 3. Mustangs in the eye, fullback motion. Handoff goes to Kriskauskis once again behind the blocks of Trunjan and Wes Widmer. And Kriskauskis refuses to go down, picking up a chunk of yardage with about 3 defenders on him and a Mustang 1st down. This Mustang power running attack reminds me of the days of Michael Oklo and Tyler Pringle. Handoff goes to the tailback once again. That's Kriskauskis. Gets a nice hole through the right-hand side. Picks up a good chunk of yardage deep into St. Francis territory. 2nd down and about 3 to go as the Mustangs are driving here late in the second quarter rather. And St. Francis defense swallows up Pavlik for a sack. Third down situation here for Maricosta. 4 receivers set, single back formation. Pavlik throwing it deep over the middle. It looks like it's complete at the 1-yard line. However, there appears to be some penalty flags on the play. Let's see what the call is going to be it's going to go, looks like it's going to be indicated against the Mustangs. Big play there as it was completed at the St. Francis 1-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd and long situation. Trips left. Handoff's going to go to the single back. That's Kriskowskis around the left-hand side. Picks up a good amount of yardage, but not enough for the first down. 4th down and about 15 yards to go. Timeout on the field. Coach Morrow looking over his options as there's a little over a minute to go. 4th down. Let's see what the Mustangs do. They are going to go for it here. Havlick back to pass. He steps up in the pocket and then slips, trying to make a move, and that will be a turnover on downs, as the Golden Knights will take over possession here with under a minute to go in the first half. Pass is complete around the right-hand side, forced out of bounds. 2nd and about 4 to go. 4 receivers set. Jacobs back to pass. He's got all the time he needs, and finally is pressured out of the pocket, and an incomplete pass is forced. 3rd down and 4 situation for the Golden Knights as time is running out here in this first half of play. Handoff goes to that single back. That's Garrison, and he's breaking free. He's still on his feet. He's in Mustang territory and will finally be taken down at the 40-yard line. Owen McTavish in on the stop for the Mustangs. Trips left, shotgun formation. Jacobs back to pass. Throws it to the left-hand side, incomplete. Great coverage there for the Mustangs. Jacobs had all the time in the world to throw the ball, but could not find an open receiver. 4 receivers set, single back, shotgun formation for the Golden Knights. Jacobs throws it over the middle and completes it. Still on his feet and finally knocked down with authority by McCullough. Golden Knights hurrying to the line of scrimmage. They have no timeouts left. They'll have to clock the ball here and do so. Stopping the clock here in the second half, or second quarter, with 5 seconds remaining in the first half of play. Garrick is on to attempt a 43-yard field goal for St. Francis. Snap is high. Hold is good. The kick is up high, straight, and it is good. So the Golden Knights extend their lead to 24-14 with 1 second to go here in the first half of play. The kick is going to go out of bounds. So the Mustangs will have one more offensive play here in the first half, trailing St. Francis by 10. Trips left, single back formation for the Mustangs. Pavlik hands the ball off to that single back. That's Kriskowskis. He goes around the left-hand side, and that will do it for the first half of play. Your Mustangs trail the Golden Knights 24-14. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Pack Parts Incorporated, factory authorized parts distributor and service center. We are the parts and service company apart from the rest. To contact Pack Parts, go to packparts.com. And Jay O'Neill of the 1993 CIF Championship team, thank you for your continued support of Mustang football. And fans, don't forget to go to the Skechers Peer-to-Peer Friendship Walk this fall. Go the extra mile for our children, presented by Nickelodeon. Thank you, Skechers, Pack Parts, and Jay O'Neill again for your continued support of Mustang football. We are getting ready to start the third quarter of play. The Mustangs trail the St. Francis Golden Knights by a score of 24-14. Of course, the two Mustangs touchdowns were courtesy of junior Matthew Kriskowskis, a 78-yard touchdown run to start the scoring this evening, and then a 24-yard touchdown reception. Let's see what the Mustangs can do here in the third quarter. They will receive the kickoff as they did win the coin toss and deferred to the second half. Coach Don Morrow and Ray Lee are definitely known for their halftime adjustments as the Mustangs trail the Golden Knights by 10. In the spring, the Mustangs went down 14-0 before taking a late fourth quarter lead. However, they weren't able to hold on as they did lose to the Golden Knights 38-35. And we are getting ready to begin the third quarter. Clint Guriak with the kickoff, and that goes into the end zone for a touchback. Mustangs will start their first drive of the second half at their own 20-yard line. Again, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Pack Parts Incorporated, for their support of Mustang football. As we see the handoff going to the tailback Kriskowskis once again. Matthew Kriskowskis has had a good start to his varsity career last week and so far in the first half this week, as he gets another carry and carries a couple Golden Knights for a few more yards. He is definitely a tough running back, picking up the first down. I formation. Pavlik hands the ball off to the tailback once again. This time it's Dean Repetti, the senior, taking the ball. Again, the Mustang power running attack is looking very impressive so far this game and this season, as we see Repetti get the handoff once again. This time he is going to pick up a couple yards, which will be good enough for a Mustang first down. I formation. Handoff goes to Kriskowskis, good for a few yards on the carry. Again, this Mustang offensive line, led by seniors Trunjan and Woodmar, have been doing a bang-up job so far this season. Single back formation. Pavlik under center. He hands it to that single back. That's Kriskowskis. And again, he carries a couple Golden Knights for a yard or two. Close to a Mustang first down. And just enough for that first down. I formation. Pavlik hands the ball up to Kriskowskis. He goes through a hole through the left-hand side and makes an incredible play there. A little nifty move downfield, and then the power finish gets the Mustangs yet another first down. Again, that offensive line is blowing open some holes, and then Kriskowskis is running hard and finishing strong. Hopefully we'll see Caleb Buchanan back in for the Knights soon, as he is helped off the field. I formation. Handoff goes to the tailback. That's Kriskowskis. Great blocking up the middle for the Mustang line, as the Mustangs are just chewing up yardage on this drive. I formation. Handoff again to the tailback Kriskowskis, and again he carries a Golden Knight defender for about 5 yards this time, and that will be good for another Mustangs first down. Coach Morrow is definitely establishing the power running attack this season. I formation. Handoff goes to the tailback. This time it's Repetti taking the carry for the Mustangs. Second down and about 7 to go. I formation, Pavlik under center. He gives the ball to Rapetti, and he gets another great block by Trunjan, and then Widmer leads through the hole, and Rapetti gets into the end zone for a touchdown. That Mustang offensive line is just pulling nearly every play. Let's take another look at this play as you see Trunjan blowing up the defensive end, and then Wes Widmer is downfield about 7-8 yards, making a nice block as Rapetti gets into the end zone. Again, great job blocking for this Mustang offensive line. I love seeing all these pulling linemen. It reminds me back when I played at Maricosta, 1990 season, we pulled constantly. We had the 46 counter, 29 fly. Oh boy, did I love those days. As we see number 12, Van Graw kicking off for the Mustangs. That is gonna, it looks like it stayed in, but they're calling it out. That pull is right where the ball bounced, so I can't tell if it bounced inbounds or out of bounds, but when it came back into camera view, it was definitely inbounds. Trips left, shotgun, single back for the Golden Knights. Jacobs fakes the handoff. He's going to take it himself around the left-hand side, and Jacobs at 6'6" is rumbling down and picking up good yardage and a first down for the Golden Knights. 6'6", 205, and he can move pretty well for a big guy. Trips right. Single back, handoff goes to that single back. That's Max Garrison right up the middle. And a huge gainer all the way down to the Mustang 25-yard line. Mustangs haven't found a way to stop the speedy running back so far this game. Hopefully Coach Lee can make some adjustments. Again, single back formation. Jacobs fakes the handoff, takes it himself around the left-hand side, makes a couple nifty moves, and gets out of bounds at about the 8-yard line, setting up a first and goal situation. Yeah, you got the defense keying on Garrison, and then Jacobs just pulls the ball down and takes it himself. This time the handoff goes to number 5 of the Golden Knights, Clemente, and he's stopped short of the end zone. Ball at the 5-yard line. Golden Knights in shotgun. Garrison not in on this play, as we see Jacobs again faking the handoff and taking himself on the quarterback option, setting up a third down and goal situation here for the Golden Knights. Garrison back in as the single back. They fake the handoff, and Brett McCullough lights up Jacobs, forcing the fumble, and it looks like the Mustangs have gotten control of the ball. That's number 3 for the Mustangs with the fumble recovery. Cole Crotty. What a play by number 27 senior Brett McCullough, coming in on the blitz and just lighting up Jacobs. Let's take another look at this play as he comes untouched and form tackles Jacobs, knocking loose the ball, and then Crotty is there just to pull it in, securing the turnover for the Mustangs. Great job, Mustang defense, holding the Golden Knights. Coming up for that answer. High formation, Pavic back to pass. He throws it to his left. That's completed to number 18, Reese Leonard. He's still on his feet and will get into Golden Knight territory down to the St. Francis 40-yard line. I formation is the first pass after all that power running last drive to start the second half, as we see the Mustangs going right back to the run with Kriskauskis. Second down and long for the Mustangs. I formation. Pavlik back to pass. He throws it to his left and completes it once again to the sophomore Leonard. Will be a couple yards shy of the first down. Nice pickup there for the Mustangs. We'll bring up a third and a long 1.5 yards. I formation, fullback motion. Lineman pulling, and the handoff goes to Kriskauskis. He gets around the right-hand side, and he is going untouched to about the 10-yard line. Huge pickup for the Mustangs. First down. Looks like it's going to be first and goal. I think he got it inside the 10. Let's see what we have here as the Mustangs are driving once again here in the second half. I formation. Pavlik under center. He's back to pass. He's throwing it to his left, and he has a man. That's number 18, Reese Leonard, the sophomore sensation, with the touchdown. All that power running by the Mustangs set up the pass as we see Van Graw kick the extra point. And now the Mustangs lead the Golden Knights 28-24 as they score 2 unanswered touchdowns to start the second half. Van Graw kicks off. Ball is taken about the 5-yard line, and he's going to be thrown down just past the 20 by number 22, Matthew Kriskauskis. Not getting any rest when the special teams are out there. That kid came to play. Shotgun formation, a little pitch to the single back. That's Garrison, and Garrison gets lit up in the backfield by number 42, Dean Rapetti. Finally, the Mustangs get a helmet on Garrison. However, he was able to get a yard on the carry. Shotgun formation. Single back for the Golden Knights. Jacobs surveying the defense. He's looking to throw. He fakes it right, throws it left, and completes it. That's Bryant on the play for the Golden Knights. Several Mustangs in on the stop. Third down and 5 for St. Francis. Single back formation, trips right. And let's see what the call here is. I'm not sure if it's a penalty or a timeout. Referee is talking to the Mustang coaching staff, so it looks like it is going to be a penalty and offsides versus the Mustangs, and that will be enough for the first down. Huge miscue there by the Mustang defense. Shotgun formation. Jacobs fakes the handoff. He rolls to his right, pump fakes, throws it now to his right. And that will do it for the third quarter of play. The Mustangs lead the Golden Knights 28-24. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Pack Parts Incorporated, factory authorized parts distributor and service center. We are the parts and service company apart from the rest. To contact Pack Parts, go to packparts.com. And Jay O'Neill of the 1993 CIF Championship team, thank you for your continued support of Mustang football. And fans, don't forget to go to the Skechers Peer-to-Peer Friendship Walk this fall. Go the extra mile for our children, presented by Nickelodeon. Thank you, Skechers, Pack Parts, and Jay O'Neill again for your continued support of Mustang football. Golden Knights will start the fourth quarter, second down from their own 35-yard line. Shotgun formation. Jacobs forced out of the pocket. He's going to take it himself, and he's going to get drilled once again by Brett McCullough. He was waiting for Jacobs as he scrambled forward. Third down. Shotgun formation. Jacobs back to pass. He's looking to throw it and is able to complete it to number 44 of St. Francis. Good for a Golden Knight first down. Trips left. Shotgun single back formation for the Golden Knights. Jacobs hands the ball up off the middle. That's number 5, John Clemente, on the carry for St. Francis. Second and a long 8 yards. Trips left. Jacobs in shotgun. He's back to pass. Penalty flag on the play. Let's see who it's going to be against. I'm not sure if it's going to be an offsides or a false start. Let's see what the call is. And it is going to be an offsides versus Mustangs, which will set up a second down and short situation. Jacobs under center. He's going to take it on the QB sneak, and he uses his huge frame to gain about 4 yards and a Golden Knight first down. Shotgun formation. Jacobs back to pass. Here comes a delayed blitz by the Mustangs, forcing Jacobs out of the pocket, and he's able to get around the left-hand side and pick up a huge chunk of yardage. Let's see if he had enough for the first down. It's going to be second down and short for the Golden Knights. And again, Jacobs on short yardage uses his huge 6'6", 205-pound frame to pick up the first down on the QB sneak. I formation. Jacobs pitches it back to Garrison. The speedy tailback is still on his feet and finally wrapped up and brought down, bringing up a second down and 1 for the St. Francis Golden Knights. I formation. Pitch goes back to Garrison. Garrison makes a nifty move to jump back towards the middle of the field and then uses his power to get into the end zone. Touchdown, Golden Knights. What an athletic play by senior Max Garrison as he was going to his left and then made a jump cut back to the center of the field to his right and then up the middle and used his power to get into the end zone. Again, the St. Francis Golden Knights are testing to see if the Mustangs line up correctly, and they do. Gayak in to kick the extra point for St. Francis. The snap is good, the hold is good, the kick is up high straight, and it is into the student section as the Golden Knights take the 31-28 lead over the Mustangs here in the fourth quarter. Gayak on to kick off for the Golden Knights. And that's a low line drive into the end zone for a touchback. Mustangs will begin this drive at their own 20-yard line. Again, the Mustangs' power running attack has been quite effective this second half, as well as the Mustangs have added the pass as they've scored 2 touchdowns. Again, the Mustangs are going to start it off on the ground. This time it's Kriskowskis around the left-hand side, picks up a couple yards. Second down and 8 for the Maricosta. Shaken up on the play is the sophomore Reese Leonard. Hopefully he's okay and will return to the game very soon. He's had an impressive start to his varsity career. Last week intercepting a pass and returning it for a touchdown, and this week he's caught a touchdown pass on offense. Again, the handoff goes to Kriskowskis around the left-hand side. picking up a few more yards for the Mustangs, bringing up a 3rd and a long 5 situation here in the 4th quarter as the Mustangs trailed by 3. Pavlik back to pass. He's throwing it deep down the right-hand side, and that's incomplete, intended for number 8, Riley Bloomstrom. And that will bring up a 4th down situation here for Maricosta. Van Graw back to punt for the Mustangs, and he gets off a high end-over-ender, and that will be downed at the St. Francis 41-yard line. No return on the play, as the Golden Knights will take over with good field position with 6 minutes and 8 seconds to go here in the 4th quarter. Timeout on the field. St. Francis calls timeout. This is definitely a huge drive in this game as the Mustangs trail by 3 with just over 6 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Penalty flag on the play. Doesn't look like St. Francis moved, and it is an offsides by the Mustangs. Huge play there as the Mustangs definitely need a stop now. 1st and 5. Pitch goes back to Garrison. He makes a move. He gets around the right-hand side, and he's going to take it all the way to the Mustang 35-yard line. Huge gain by the senior Max Garrison. He scored 5 touchdowns tonight for the Golden Knights. 4 touchdowns, rather, for the Golden Knights. And that is a false start against St. Francis. Impressive game to start his senior season. And he'll get the pitch here again for St. Francis. He works his way, breaks a tackle, and is going to go the distance. Now he has his 5th touchdown of the evening. Huge play there by the St. Francis offense, led by the senior running back, Max Garrison. Gayak on to attempt the extra point for the Golden Knights as they extend their lead over the Mustangs. High snap. Hold is down, and the kick is going to be no good.
The kick is no good.
So we have a scoreboard says 38-28. However, it's 37-28. A 9-point lead for the St. Francis Golden Knights. Mustangs need to score and score fast if they want to have a shot at this contest. Gaia kicks off the ball once again into the end zone, so the Mustangs will start at their own 20-yard line. Single back formation, Pavlik under center. And the handoff goes to that single back, Kriskowskis, and he's going to be stopped for a short gain on the play. Yeah, Mustangs are going to definitely need some big chunk plays to get some points on the board here, as they do need it down by 2 scores. I formation, Pavlik fakes the handoff. He throws it deep down the middle of the field, and it's incomplete. However, there is a penalty on the play, as Riley Bloomstrom is slow to get up. It appears his leg might be cramping up. Again, it's a hot evening here. It was over 90 degrees during the day. And it is a pass interference versus the Golden Knights. Mustangs, I formation. At their own 36-yard line. Pavlik back to pass. He's throwing it deep down the left sideline, and that was intended for Reese Leonard. Good to see Reese Leonard back in action for the Mustangs after he was shaken up earlier this quarter. Handoff goes to Koskowskis, this time around the right-hand side, and it looks like he was able to pick up enough yardage for a Mustang first down. Pavlik back to pass. He steps up in the pocket. He still on his feet and is able to complete the pass to number 13 along the right-hand sideline. Incredible job by Pavlik to avoid the pressure. Let's take another look at this play as Pavlik steps up into the pocket, avoids a tackle, moves to his right, and then finds his receiver open along the sideline. Mustangs driving here as the fourth quarter winds down. Koskowskis with a carry here is not going to get much yardage on the play. Timeout on the field. Mustangs need to score on this drive to have a shot at this contest with 3 minutes and 4 seconds left, and that pass is complete to Reese Leonard in the middle of the field, and he gets all the way down to the Mustang 5-yard line. Huge play there by the sophomore. Nice pass there by the senior quarterback Pavlik. And the Mustangs are in business here, first and goal from the St. Francis 5-yard line. Mustangs have enough time to run the ball here. They have been very effective. However, this time Pavlik throws to his left and completes it to number 18, Reese Leonard, who gets drilled in the end zone. However, he holds on for the touchdown. That's his second touchdown this evening. Let's take another look at this play, as St. Francis probably thought the Mustangs were going to run it too. However, Reese Leonard is able to hold on to the ball after he takes a huge hit. Great job by the Mustang offense, responding pretty quickly to that last touchdown. Point after attempt is good. So the Mustangs have whittled this lead down to 2 points. I would expect Coach Morrow to have an onside kick attempt as the Mustangs trail the Golden Knights 37-35 with just over 2.5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. And Van Graw is definitely setting up for the onside kick. Here it comes. It gets the bounce they're looking for. However, St. Francis is able to pull it in. That was number 24 for the Golden Knights, the senior captain for the St. Francis Golden Knights, Miles Shannon, pulling it in. Huge play there for St. Francis. I formation. Pitch goes back to Max Garrison once again, and he slips through a couple tackles and breaks free, and he's going to go the distance for his 6th touchdown this evening. An absolute incredible performance here by the senior Max Garrison. And that will extend the Golden Knights lead. Just when the Mustangs were getting back into the contest, Max Garrison pulled off a couple huge runs to gain a commanding lead in this contest. Gayak in to kick the extra point for the Golden Knights. Snap is high once again. This time the hold is able to get down and the kick is good. So the Golden Knights lead the Mustangs again by 9 points, 44-35. Gayak to kick off once again. And this time it's going to bounce at about the 10-yard line. Bloomstrand on the return for Maricosta. He breaks free. Nice little return coming here as Riley was able to get past that first wave of coverage. And again, it looks like he's cramping up here late in the fourth quarter. So with 2 minutes 15 seconds, Mustangs trail by 9. Trips left. Havlik back to pass. He throws it to his left, and that is incomplete, intended for Leonard. Second down and 10 for the Mustangs. Trips left, shotgun. Havlik has trouble with the snap and is lucky not to fumble it. However, he is going to be thrown down for a sack. That's a huge play. Timeout on the field with 2 minutes and 1 second to go here in this contest. Mustangs trying to get something going. Full receiver set. Pavlik back to pass, and it's just over the fingertips of Brett McCullough. And that will bring up a 4th down and 13 situation. Mustangs have to go for it. Full receiver sets. Pavlik back to pass. He throws an interception. That's number 24, Miles Shannon, who was able to haul in the onside kick attempt for the Golden Knights and hauls in an interception, which should just about do it for this contest, as the Golden Knights lead by 9 points deep in Mustang territory with 1:49 to go. High formation. Jacobs pitches the ball back to Garrison, and he is tackled by number 42, Dean Rapetti. Golden Knights just looking to run this clock out and looking to go 1-0 on the season. Looks like the Mustangs are going to go to 1-1 on the season. Next week, the Mustangs will be on the road once again, this time traveling to Mayfair. They'll be playing at Ron Yari Stadium next week in Bellflower, as Garrison gets a huge gainer and a first down for the St. Francis Golden Knights. That should do it, as the Golden Knights can just take a knee now and finish this contest. Dean Harrington's going to get a win in his first game as head coach of the St. Francis Golden Knights. Congratulations to Coach Harrington. This, of course, was an emotional game for the St. Francis Golden Knights, as their longtime coach, Jim Bonds, of 20 years, passed away this offseason. So congratulations to the Golden Knights. Coming up big this evening, Jacobs takes a knee, and that should just about do it for this contest, as the Golden Knights will win by a score of 44-35. Mustangs come up short on the scoreboard this evening. However, the Mustang running attack was very impressive once again, led by the seniors Trunjan and Widmer on the offensive line, and Dean Rapetti and the junior Matthew Kraskauskas have been running extremely hard, and Kraskauskas had that 78-yard touchdown run as well as the 24-yard touchdown catch. Once the Mustangs established their power running attack, they were able to complement it with some very nice passing by the senior Casey Pavlik, who connected for 2 touchdowns to the sophomore sensation Reese Leonard. Stay tuned, fans, for some post-game interviews, and we'll see you next week as the Mustangs take on Mayfair.
It's Jeremy Stowski here with senior Wes Widmer. Wes, Mustang offense is looking good so far this season. Can you talk about the job the running backs have done against that good offensive line blocking?
It was incredible this game. We achieved running yards with a junior that had very little experience up until this season. He played on JV last year, which was very difficult with COVID. But I think we can improve a lot from where we are today, but beyond that, I think we're doing awesome, especially with some of the plays we're leading with today.
It's Jeremy Sadowski here with Matthew Kraskowskis. Matthew, the line has been absolutely blowing open some holes, and you and Dean have been just running the ball real hard so far this season. Can you talk about the offensive line play and how you guys have really got this run game going so far?
Our line is everything. I mean, from practice to the field, they work harder than anybody. They're my hogs. If I make the newspaper, they go out to get food with me. They're everything. The line wins championships. I feel like our defense could have done better this game. Individually, I feel I could do better this game, but it starts tomorrow. Work harder and harder every day, and I promise you, this is not the last you'll see of the Maricosta Mustangs.
It's Jeremy Sadowski here with senior Johnny Nguyen. Johnny, the Mustangs have been dominating in the trenches so far. Can you talk about the line play?
Really, it's Dom Richardson. He's been just coaching this line incredibly. He teaches you proper technique. It's really a wonder having a coach like that. We've not, Costa's never really had anything like that, to the point where every single thing can be corrected and everything can be made better, and it is made better every single time.